Hello, stingrays.
Hello,
Go ahead.
stingrays.
Stingrays. Yes, very good, very good. Today we're going to do our Unit 4 study guide. What you're going to need is a piece of notebook paper, at least one. The study guide itself really doesn't have enough room for us to do all of our work, much less, it barely has enough room to show our answers. So make sure you have some notebook paper. Our study guide lesson today is going to be done in five short videos. Let's get started. Good morning, boys and girls. Today we're going to be working on the study guide. What you're going to want to do is get your study guide out that the teacher just gave you. And underneath the first part where it says converting decimals, fractions, and percents, and then it has some operations, explanations, and examples. If you go down below, you will see some practice problems. Let's take a look at where it says convert decimal to percent on the left-hand column. And let's look at the very first one. And by the way, if you don't have a piece of notebook paper out already, you should. When you look at the study guide, we all know that there's really not enough room or any room to show your work or do your work. There's barely enough room to write your answer. So please get out a piece of notebook paper and to show your work and keep it all organized. We're going to take the very first decimal that's in that group. And those of you that know how to read decimals properly, which all of you should, we know that we have 6 hundredths here. Okay, we have 0 ones, we have 0 tenths, but we do have 6 hundredths. And 6 hundredths basically means 6 out of 100, which when we're dealing with percents, we're saying the same thing pretty much. But here's a simple way to change a decimal to a percent. You simply take the decimal point, you move it 2 places to the right, okay, and then, okay, I'm going to change my equal sign to an addition sign. You guys can all tell that's an addition sign, right? Okay, perfect. And then I add a percent. So what do we end up with? We end up with 6%. What does percent mean? 6 out of 100. What does 6 hundredths mean? 6 out of 100. There you have it. Let's take a look at one more problem. Down below, we'll do this number next, and you can do the remaining 4 decimals on your own. Okay, we have 929 thousandths. Yep, we have 929 thousandths. We need to do the same thing again. Move the decimal point 1, 2 places to the right. We add a percent. And what do we get? 92 9/10%. Okay? Which is the same thing as 929 thousandths. Okay, so just remember, when converting decimals to percents, move the decimal place 2 places to the right, and then add a percent sign. Okay. Okay, class, the next thing that we want to do is the opposite. Now we're converting percents to decimals. We're just going backwards, okay? If you can do decimals to percents, now we're just going backwards. So go down below, and we're just going to take the percent of 113%. Guess what we do? We will move the decimal point. Now somebody might say, well, 113 doesn't have a decimal point. Well, because it's a whole number, it's not a decimal. Well, actually every whole number is a decimal. The decimal point just comes after the last digit and we don't write it down. Okay, so 113 is really a decimal. It's 113 and 0 tenths or 0 hundredths or whatever fractional amount you want to add to it. So we take our decimal point and we move it now 2 places again, but to the left. We're just doing the opposite of what we did before. So now we're taking 2 decimal places to the left. And instead of adding the percent, you guessed it, we get rid of it. And what are we left with? We're left with 1 and 13 hundredths. 1 and 13 hundredths. It's that simple. You take the decimal point, we move it to the left 2 places, and there you have it. And it makes sense. Think about it. What does 113% mean? Okay, 113% means 100% plus 13% more. What does 100% mean? 100% means 1. And what does 13% mean? 13% means 13 out of 100. So it's 1 and 1300ths. There you have it. Let's now go down, we're still in the left-hand column, go down to the third grouping of numbers, which they're all decimals. And now we have to convert decimals to fractions. Oh my goodness, this might be the most difficult one of all. If you know me, you can probably pick up the sarcasm in my voice. Converting a decimal to a fraction. Guess what the key is? The key is simply this. Say it right. What do I mean by say it right? Well, look at this. This is, if we read the decimal correctly, this is 1 and 2 tenths. 1 and 2 tenths. I wonder, 1 and 2 tenths, 1 and 2 tenths, you know what fraction that is? It's 1 and 2 tenths. Okay, and if you want to change it to an improper fraction because you don't like a mixed number, it is, you just simply go around the world. 10 times 1 is 10, plus 2 is 12, so it's 12 tenths. Okay, but boys and girls, if you say a decimal correctly, if you read it correctly, you're also saying a fraction, 1 and 2 tenths. I don't think I need to say any more about that. Can you say bye?
Bye!